reliable replacement at right-back for the injured Mel Sterland. Eric Cantona entered more often from the bench, but he starts today alongside Lee Chapman and Rod Wallace in attack. One particularly unlucky player, Steve Hodge, who has been outstanding in the other warm-up games for Leeds. Well, this is the shape of the side, and words from Andy Gray.
Yes, it looks to me by the 1 to 11 there that Howard Wilkinson will discard the tried and trusted 4-4-2 formation that served him so well last season, certainly for today. And it looks to me like it'll be an attack-minded 4-3-3 with Wallace, Chapman and Cantona trying to cause Liverpool some problems.
Well, Liverpool's list of injuries was well documented last season, and it needs mentioning, unfortunately, again. Headed by John Barnes, of course, Mulby, McManaman, Thomas, Redknapp and Rob Jones is ill, and on Tuesday at Tranmere, Steve Nicol was flattened by a foul, and he misses out on the Charity Shield for the 6th time in his Liverpool career. Bruce Grobbelaar keeps David James on the sidelines, and there is a place in midfield for Paul Stewart, and an intriguing formation for Andy to analyse.
Very intriguing. Look for Liverpool to start certainly that way. Only 3 defenders, Tanner, Wright and Burrows, will play at the back. No definite sweeper there, but just 3 defenders in a line. Saunders and Walters will be asked to raid down either flank and supply Rosenthal and Rush the spearhead for Liverpool today.
David Elleray, by the way, the referee, who deals with discipline on a daily basis as the housemaster at Harrow School. A little bit of surprise in the Leeds ranks that both Chapman and Cantona are in from the outset here. They played in Norway on Wednesday, and Chapman only came into the game late on. Here's Saunders, wide on the right for the FA Cup holders. A little flick from Stewart. McAllister with Batty alongside him. Burrows making the challenge to force Batty to release the ball, really. And Leeds have the throw. You certainly sense they have the greater share of the support here, but what part of the match will they be able to dictate?
We're lucky also today, Martin, and we have probably 2 of the most focal sets of supporters in English football today, and they really are making themselves heard. The game has started really at quite a fierce pace for a Charity Shield, but the teams have lined up as we thought. There are no major surprises early on in the game.
Well, such a significant season ahead. The Premier League should be a rich opportunity for the big clubs to raise the standards on and off the pitch. A bit of pushing by Ronnie Rosenthal, whose opportunities have been limited since Graham Souness took over at the helm of Liverpool, but he, like a number of Liverpool players, have caught the eye in the preparation matches. Chapman. Here's McAllister. Cantona is in the middle. Chapman is there, of course. Gary Speed, who's so good in the air, making his move and trying to test out this Liverpool defence without what we would call recognised fullbacks. 3 defenders in a line across the pitch, Burrows and Tanner either side of right.
But that little example there, that to me is Leeds' strength. They get the ball wide to full-backs and the wide people, and they put great crosses in.
Well, Rosenthal was offside in the end. Just before that, we saw the telescopic talent of Chris White, who may not be the quickest central defender at this level, but he's got great capacity to improvise with those long legs of his.
Yeah, Chris is one of these. I don't think can believe what's happened to him, Martin, over the last few years. I was actually at West Brom when Ron Atkinson brought him back from virtually hibernation. His career was going nowhere. Brought him back for about something like 25,000, and look where his career's gone there. It's quite amazing.
McAllister. There's Chapman. Here's John Newsom with Batty beavering away outside him. Newsom perhaps didn't see him. And there's plenty of hurly-burly already about the midfield. Oh, White was pressed by Rush, and the ball forward wasn't very convincing.
But there's an example. The little bit there with Chris White pressurised by Ian Rush. Normally, he would have just turned round, looked for John Lukic and knocked it back. He knew he couldn't, so there was immediate, not panic, but there was uncertainty there.
Gordon Strachan would have loved to have started. He was telling me in the tunnel that he feels fit enough to play the whole game, but it wasn't a feeling shared by the manager. Here's Batty, doing well. Chapman will reach it. He glanced it goalwards. Without eyes in the back of his head, he couldn't have realised perhaps where Gary Speed was behind him.
And that's the problem that Liverpool have with this formation, is no full-backs, Martin, no cover. If someone's prepared to get in behind Lee Chapman, as Gary Speed did then, they could get all sorts of joy from crosses.
Stewart. Marsh trying to slide into that channel. White saw him coming. Here's Wallace. The defender is Tanner. Leeds flooding into the centre. Out by Burrows. Chapman thought about hitting it first time, then thought better of it. And the layoff was too late. Torrigo coming in with Saunders. He's got the licence to do that.
I was just thinking as that ball was cleared there from the Liverpool defence, how Gary McAllister must have been wishing it had dropped just in front of him instead of Lee Chapman. Exactly from the area he would have thrived on.
The header was from Rosenthal, then Fairclough. Speed under challenge from Stewart. Cantona with that flair and capacity for the surprising switch of direction. No offside, it was Whelan to Walters. Still Walters for Saunders. Well, one thing Dean Saunders might find to his advantage coming in from the right-hand side is that defenders might lose track of him, and that's what happened then.
Oh, this is brilliant play from Walters, though. How aware he was of Saunders' position, just to roll a lovely little ball to him, and he just choked his shot a little bit, hit it into the ground. But that is an advantage that Graham Souness has, playing him wide, and that being a natural striker. When the ball's on the left side, as it is with Mark Walters, then he will naturally be drawn into the penalty area.
Well, he picked up a couple of goals on Tuesday at Tranmere in that 7-1 win, which I'm sure encouraged Graham Souness to put out this formation on a bigger stage here. And Rosenthal was also scorer at Prenton Park. This is Wallace. Cantona, out comes Grobbelaar, and it needed to be a pass of rare precision to beat Grobbelaar's move off his line.
Oh, it's been a cracking start to the game, isn't it? 15 minutes and it hasn't really stopped for breath yet. Real credit to the both managers and players for coming out with such a positive attitude.
Well, it's level at 0-0 still, and it's level on the free kicks conceded. And I must say, the weather is of the sauna-like nature that they've been experiencing in Barcelona. It was quite cloudy and very humid this morning. The sun trying to break through now. Right above Chapman, a little help on from Whelan, but McAllister exploring the width on the right-hand side with Wallace. And he's there as the general again, Gary McAllister. Cantona. Cantona has signed a 3-year contract. That was completed at the end of last season. A man who's found authority difficult to deal with in his own country. Seems to have settled in very well here. The only thing Leeds have got against him, really, is he's being now renowned for a lack of punctuality. Team meeting can't usually start until Eric shows up. And Howard Wilkinson, I understand, hasn't been altogether pleased about that.
Well, no doubt it'll be costing him, Martin, a few pennies every now and again then.
Maybe a few francs. Header out by Wright. Walters, encouraged by his run a moment or two ago. Stewart. Mark Walters, I'd like your view on him, Andy, really, because I remember seeing him play here as a schoolboy, I think back in 1979, and really seemed to have the world at his feet. And he has achieved quite a lot, but maybe some would feel not quite as much as you would have thought.
Oh, I feel very strong about that. He hasn't achieved what he should have done in the game, certainly up till now. He's got so much ability. His big failing has been his consistency to do it regularly, Martin, and that's cost him dearly at every club he's played at. But his ability is unquestioned, and if he can just become a bit more consistent, then the world is still at his feet.
It looks his sort of game, doesn't it? We've just seen Cantona indulging in a rapid interchange of passes at high skill. And Mark Walters, when it comes to technique, is blessed. His header. Rush pokes it on. And Ronnie Rosenthal is offside.
Well, it was close, but I think the officials spot on.
Linesman Alan Hill.
But what Leeds' two centre-backs, Chris White and Chris Fairclough, know is that they have a real battle on their hands. Ian Rush and Ronnie Rosenthal, two of the most mobile strikers around, rely on their ability to drag players around, and will do that for 90 minutes.
Whelan. Stewart. He's only got Rosenthal for help at the moment. Saunders now has arrived on the outside. Marsh has got into the middle. Rush just holding on the edge of the area and left a little flat-footed. Mark Walters actually way on the far side, was unmarked. Speed. And when there's a race on, well, he's left it. I was going to say you fancy Wallace, but he left it to Cantona. Great block by Burrows. Gary Speed, a player of so many parts, starting it off in the centre. Rush. Here's Stewart. Well, Rush had got in behind Chris Fairclough, but the ball came far too late for him.
That was a brilliant piece of skill, though, from Gary Speed to open up Liverpool again there. Showed tremendous strength initially, and then great ability to slip a lovely ball through. But really, I mean, he's aware here. He sticks a great ball in behind the defenders, and they just actually get in each other's way. It's a case of after you. No one really took the responsibility to be definite about it, and the chance was lost.
Yes, Liverpool were very relieved that it just rolled beyond Rodney Wallace, because he might have taken some catching.
But I think we've seen already, Martin, in the first 20 minutes that if Graham Souness is going to adopt this type of play, that he has got to worry wide on both sides with people getting in behind him.
And, oh, mistake now by Fairclough, presenting the ball to Rush. Marsh, Rosenthal, they've still got the ball too. Walters. Oh, and Marsh! Saunders seemed to be moving in for a formality then, but Marsh, if he got a call, he didn't hear it. He must have felt he could have reached it himself. Leeds were lucky to get away with that. Now Saunders, ball at his feet, and a chance to take on White. Well, he didn't do more than make space for the shot.
Well, if this is a little sample of what's in store in next season's Premier League, I can't wait. This has been great stuff so far.
In goes Rosenthal! Oh, wonderful stop by Lukic. What a terrific cross. Ronnie Rosenthal was allowed to line it up in looking at the goal and making his contact here, and then it was all John Lukic.
That's a brilliant instinctive save from John Lukic.
The header from Stewart. Oh, and it's misjudged by Batty, put in by Rush for the push.
Unlucky, Rushy.
Well worth trying.
Oh, yeah. You'll just see it here as it comes in. I think it's Paul Stewart gets the header in. And just watch as David Batty goes, there's a little hand in his back.
Yes, in any case, I think Mark Walters might have been in an offside position. Stewart. Cut out by Dorigo. Wallace. A lot of acceleration down the left-hand side for Leeds. Wallace past Tanner. Cantona! Got to it. His work in the air is one of his strengths. He's a big man.
I would suggest that that's not his strongest side, though. I would think that he's far happier the ball coming from the other side.
He's offside now.
But that's the trouble that they have with Mark Wright. He's got to cover a whole vast area in there. And if he can't always do it, and if people like Chapman and Cantona get in between players, as they will do, it could cause him problems as it crosses delivery.
Batty now, he's got a defender to play it to, an outfield player. Last year that might have gone back to the goalkeeper. Batty, nicely measured. Wallace, the flag has stayed down. Rodney Wallace for Leeds. Cantona bangs it into the corner, and the champions are in front. Howard Wilkinson, who is a man who always weighs his words before he speaks, is in control of his emotions at seeing Leeds strike here.
It's the space again, isn't it? We spoke about that gap either side, and Rodney Wallace exploits it brilliantly. But look at this, he doesn't panic now, does he? Rolls it across, there you go, Eric. Smash a goal in at Wembley. This is quite an emphatic finish from the big Frenchman, isn't it? And really gives Bruce Gobler no chance.
Just in time as they converged on him, he pulled the trigger and hit his target. Whether it will be a killing blow, I would doubt. I would think Leeds would have to do more. Certainly when you heard the way the teams were going to be lined up here, 0-0 seemed the most unlikely outcome. And I would venture to suggest that 1-0 is an unlikely outcome. But Cantona has given us that scoreline. And that will be greeted rapturously by the Leeds fans, who love him. Now, is that dangerous play by Dorigo on Stewart? I'm sure it is. A foot raised, and Liverpool straight away have an opportunity to hit back, an indirect free kick.
And this is a chance for Liverpool to put into practice one or two things that no doubt they've worked on the training ground. There you see, David Ellery, exactly right.
Leeds have pulled everyone back. Now Lukic can surely not see too much. Burrows is there, if it goes to him, which it does, and it rather squirms off for a corner.
But that's what you've got to do in those areas. I mean, people will look and say, well, they didn't try anything different there. But they're only 16 yards from goal, Martin. Right in front of goal, you get a shot in if at all possible, and that's what they tried there.
Right coming from the edge of the area at the corner. Saunders again with the corner. And it came off Stewart's head rather to the detriment of his captain. Burrows. Rosenthal trying to stay onside, hasn't managed it. Well, he came as a controversial character from France, but as I say, he's a cult figure in England. And it hit David Burrows on the way through. But I rather fancy it would have gone in any case. Such was the power and such was the position that Cantona found himself in. Dorigo. Wallace. Cantona at the end of last season scored 3 times. Here's Rosenthal. He's round the goalkeeper, Lukic forcing him into that decision, and it's ended as a corner. But there's no great certainty at the back for Leeds at the moment in defence of their lead. The thrust of Rosenthal then. Oh, and Lukic losing his footing as he moved back, was headed back by Tanner, on by right, and not quite goaled by Rush.
The only surprise about this game is it's only 1-0.
Well,
the players really are getting really into each other and taking the game to each other. It's fabulous to see. This is Rush almost equalising. Matt Wright just knocks it back into the danger area. But Ian Rush a little too much on the header.
Here's Walters. Newsom can't cope, but speed can, partially. Stewart, it was deflected, it will be a corner.
But once again, the tantalising skills of Matt Walters here. John Newsom really is in for a torrid time this afternoon if Liverpool can get the ball to him. Look at that, another quality cross, but who is it at the back post? Saving Leeds again. Gary Speed, and he blocks the shot. That's great play.
Chapman led the move out from Leeds, but they didn't clear the ball decisively. Tanner's cross. Lukic has gone all the way. That's a corner conceded by Newsom. John Lukic, who played against Liverpool in the 1989 Charity Shield for Arsenal. He was a loser that day. Well, on the corners, they're all happening at one end. Rosenthal. Batty had to be careful. It's a great ball by Rosenthal. Rush! 1-1. It seemed to be just a matter of time. And Ian Rush, who was saying before the game he felt in a hot streak already. And he scored here in FA Cups, in League Cups, in Charity Shields in the past, for Wales as well. It's his second home, and he's done it for Liverpool here, 1-1.
It had to come, it really did. Rush takes up a great position, but he owes an awful lot to Ronnie Rosenthal. Produces a great piece of skill, a great cross, but you can't give Ian Rush that type of space and expect him to miss.
I think the record books will show that that's Ian Rush's 10th goal at Wembley for Liverpool. Amazing.
Nothing better for a striker, honestly, Martin. Charity Shield day than to get off the mark. It really isn't. They'll have scored goals pre-season games, but this is the first big competitive game. If you get off the mark on that, really makes you feel good.
Batty. Nicely played by Liverpool. Certainly earned the right to draw level from a succession of corners. Saunders. Tanner venturing forth. Marsh, good appreciation of the game again, and they want Walters to have it all the time. All except John Newsom, that is. He's going to regard that as something of a triumph. He's blocked the cross.
What they've got to do, though, Leeds, if the ball goes to Matt Walters, they're leaving John Newsom basically on his own, Matt. They have to double bank on him. They need to get somebody like David Batty, one of the midfield players. He's got to go over and help him.
Lukic hesitated. Chapman, who you might have noticed was closest to Rush when he scored, but was the wrong side of him. Helped with defending then. Cantona, whose lead has been wiped out. Waiting for Torrigo. Here he is. He looks for speed, finds him. Torrigo again. He came off Burrows, speed in there. Torrigo. And it's hit by Wallace within the reach of Grobbelaar. Concerted attack by Leeds, but only for a moment.
This is a great game, Mark, honestly. That's a fabulous run, wasn't it? Tony Torrigo wants to get forward, wants to get in there, create things, and he showed magnificent composure. Liverpool really did live dangerously there.
And speed is there again. You'd hardly credit it. This is his first game at Wembley, as it is for a number of the Leeds players. McAllister, Wallace, Chris White. Batty, of course, has been here for England. Newsom, another newcomer. That's a foul by Wright on Wallace.
It's a bit unlucky, I think, Martin, Matt, right there. Great little take from Rodney Wallace, all good skill, but I think just stumbled over Matt Wright rather than being brought down with him. So he takes it there. I don't think Matt Wright actually tackles. It's just that it's more a stumble. A little bit unlucky, but could be costly.
Well, there haven't been too many free kicks, certainly not of a sinister nature, but there's been really a surplus, if that's the right word, of fine football. It's far more than we had any right to expect. Smashing match. 2 minutes to go to half-time. Leeds looking to try and regain their advantage here. It's Torrigo, and that was deflected again. Oh, twice the ball has flown off a Liverpool defender and past Grobbelaar. But undoubtedly it will go down to Tony Torrigo.
Well, Bruce isn't enjoying the best of luck, is he, in between the sticks for Liverpool today. 2 goals, 2 deflections. But this again, straight out the training ground. Good movement, good little play. And what he does, he strikes it very well. But there's nothing off the back, I think, of Ronnie Rosenthal. Nothing Bruce can do about that.
Yes, Rosenthal left on the end of the wall. Well, they say don't turn your back. Saunders. Batty stepping in. But I cannot believe it will get any more serious for David Batty once they play under the Premier League banner. But I must say, what an appetite whetter it's been for what we'll bring you on Sky Sports. The only place you'll see live Premier League football. And this time maybe feeling the heat. Wallace and Speed were somewhat flat-footed. White out manoeuvring Rush. He will have enjoyed that. Any more superlatives, Andy, before half-time?
I'm running out, Mark. All I can say is I hope the second half is half as good, because if it is, we'll be in for another treat. But the players will get tired, and there will be changes, and it may upset the rhythm of the game a little bit. But I think what we'll see is we'll still see plenty of skill on show second half.
Strachan, Rocastle and Hodge amongst the lead substitutes, so plenty of talent there. Dorigo. Speed. Well, Tanner made sure that the cross was going to be difficult, and in the end it was beyond Gary's speed. But it's the last touch of a really terrific first half. The scoring went like this: Eric Cantona for Leeds, Ian Rush with his customary Wembley goal for Liverpool, and just when Liverpool were really in the driving seat, Tony Dorigo via the back of Ronnie Rosenthal, 2-1 to Leeds. Howard Wilkinson has never before been involved as a manager of a team at Wembley. And his team lead at the start of the second half by 2-1. But it's by no means a position of real security. David Burrows looking for some movement at the throw. Mistake by Fairclough. It's Rosenthal who leaves him on the ground. What will Rosenthal do? He's not quite sure himself. He finally gets a shot in, and I would think his ears might still be burning from possible criticism by Graham Souness for turning his back to Tony Dorigo's free kick just before half-time, trying to make a point here early in the second half.
Oh, definitely, and he gets himself into a wonderful position there. Probably the only thing wrong, he had too much time and he didn't make his mind up quick enough. Felt sure he was just going to pull the trigger and let go there, but he just delayed a little bit too long.
Wallace, flag is down. It's batting. Chapman balked off the ball. Oh, well claimed by Grobbelaar. Question of judgment and technique, and he got it absolutely right.
And a good pair of hands. That was a super stop. Great ball across from David Batty. Drove it low and hard.
McAllister. Well, work for the goalkeepers again, which was the story of the first half. And still the 22 players involved who started the game. Rush has got in behind them, onside. Behind Saunders, Rush can line it up. Brilliant stop by Lukic coming off his line. Batty puts it behind for a corner.
Oh, that's a great stop, big man. But Ian Rush, I think, will feel he should have scored in that situation. Made the chance with a brilliant diagonal run. Watch that run. Diagonal across the defenders. That's natural to him. And when he got here, I thought, there's a goal coming up. Chooses to pass, and then it opens up for him. But watch Lukic spread his body. That's great goalkeeping.
Coming up to 15 minutes played in the second half. Leeds, who led 2-1 at half-time, are still in that position. McAllister. Oh, and Grobbelaar, what's he going to do? He's got the ball, and I do think maybe if that happened in a week's time, Lee Chapman would have gone in a bit more wholeheartedly. And it's led to Rosenthal racing away. Is this the equaliser for a second time for Rush? It's not. Oh, and it very nearly was for Saunders.
I don't think Liverpool can believe they're still getting beat 2-1 in this game. And I don't understand Ronnie Rosenthal in that situation. This is Saunders' shot. Look how close this is. Oh. He deserved better than that in the strike, but it was a first opportunity when Rosenthal and Rush broke free. It really was a golden opportunity squandered.
Well, prior to that, Lee Chapman went for a ball with Bruce Grobbelaar, and I think in the spirit of the day and the fact that we are technically pre-season, didn't go in a way that might have injured his opponent. Wallace. Cantona on the far post. And away it goes behind from Tanner.
That was a brilliant ball there from Gary Speed there that released Rod Wallace. Absolutely super. First time, struck brilliantly.
Let me remind you again that if it's level after 90 minutes, we will have penalties. Leeds can celebrate a corner. Speed got a flick, then right for Liverpool. They've left only Rosenthal upfield. And Batty would claim that that time he got the ball, but maybe on the late side. David Elleray was only a couple of yards away. Stewart. The early cross from Saunders. Now Burrows and Marsh. Walters. Rocks the cross early. Speed got to it first of all. Rush was then facing the goal, and offside against Paul Stewart. Coming back from an offside position, he wallops the ball home after the whistle has gone.
Not happy with the linesman at all, Paul Stewart.
Paul Stewart hasn't surrendered his striker's union card, I don't think, despite the fact his career has really taken off as he's been switched to a midfield player. But the way Liverpool are playing with basically 4 up doesn't give him much chance to get forward to look for a goal for himself. He's got to hold a little bit with Whelan and Marsh. And Leeds are in behind them at the moment. And that's Batty's pass. And the flag is up. The Leeds roar was forming on the lips of those fans, you can see in our picture behind the linesman.
It's unlucky as well there, it really was. David Batty had just made a little mistake in delaying the pass too long, because Tony Dorigo was totally committed to his run. Had the pass been released a second earlier, no doubt he would have been onside. But Liverpool have just changed it slightly. They've now pushed Ronnie Rosenthal wide onto the right and have said to Dean Saunders, just you come infield, play up front along with Ian Rush.
But wherever the ball is and whatever Liverpool seem to do, you'll find Gary Speed for Leeds United. Well, he is going to allow Tony Dorigo to take the throw. I know at international terms, Terry Yorath is thrilled with the opportunity of using him for Wales. Already got 14 caps, I think it is. Still only 22. Rosenthal letting the ball do the work, and because of that he's got a corner. And it shows how quick Rosenthal is that he made Dorigo really put his sprinter's shoes on. Liverpool way ahead on corners, 2-1 behind on goals. Spooned away by White. Batty there again. That's what he's caricatured as a ball winner, but there is more to his game than that. We've seen some good passes from him in this match alone. And his tenacity is too much for Walters. McAllister wants to play it long, and he needs the runners for that, and Wallace obliged. Speed's got up with him. Chapman is there. Advantage played by the referee. Wallace may have been fouled, and Wallace then just lost his concentration for a moment as Speed wanted to roll the ball back to him. That was a shame for Leeds. And indeed for the referee, who played a part in keeping that attack going. Walters. Here's Saunders. Walters lines up one for himself. Oh, and the deflection comes Saunders' way. It's a second equaliser this time, and the switch is paid off for Graham Souness. Saunders sent through the middle, and it's Liverpool 2, Leeds United 2.
What a pleasing time for a manager, isn't it? You make a tactical switch in a game, and it pays off almost immediately. But let's be honest, Liverpool have deserved a little bit of luck in this game. And they got it. A quite emphatic finish it was from Dean Saunders. Ball broke to him, kind bounce, and the Welshman didn't squander that chance. That was a great strike.
Here's Batty. Now Rosenthal, showing that his part in the change of position is working for the manager as well, and not the final ball. But I think it's an appropriate time for Andy Gray to remind us what his scoreline tip was earlier in the afternoon. Some of our viewers might not have heard it.
Well, I was with Richard, and he said to me, what do you fancy today? And I said, well, to be honest, I feel there are goals here today. I felt both sides were capable of it, and I went for Liverpool to win 3-2, so I've still got a chance. The Leeds fans won't like that, I'm sorry. But it's been a fascinating and wonderfully entertaining game.
Here's McAllister. Cantona is offside. So, first of all, it was Ian Rush to make it 1-1. And then, with some very quick reactions to a ball that bounced off Chris White, Dean Saunders making it 2-2.
That looked an even better finish then, didn't it? An awkward bouncing ball, but he dealt with it quite brilliantly.
Marsh. He was very neat and tidy in his work. Here's Batty. Walters, Stewart, and Fairclough just got there for Leeds as Liverpool look to have a sharp edge to their attacking play again.
Ian Rush to me looks as if he's right back on song, man. That was another wonderful little diagonal run and a straight pass from Paul Stewart. He's now into the area where there's some tired legs around him on this Wembley surface in a real hot, humid day. And at the moment, Liverpool look like the team with their tails up.
Well, John Lukic has asked for 5 in the wall. He's reasonably central. And Saunders, having found the range, is relishing an opportunity this time to clip it to Walters. Oh. Well, the subterfuge was there to try and catch Leeds on the wrong foot, as if Saunders was going to shoot.
Brilliant. I mean, he's used his head here, Dean Saunders. Mark Walters is spare at the back post, totally unmarked. I'm sure initially he wanted a shot, but using his head the way that he looked up, saw Mark Walters and dropped a beautiful pass on his foot.
Well, Liverpool with the better array of shots on target. But Wallace, is it going to be 3-2 for Leeds? It came to Gary Speed very quickly off Grobbelaar, and significantly it came to Speed on his right foot, not his left. Well, there's too much action for analysis here. Saunders.
Oh, this is ridiculous, this game, isn't it? We have to apologise, but no, every incident ain't been shown again and again. There's just so much happening.
Well, it's so difficult for players following up when the ball comes off the goalkeeper at pace, unless it comes right into your stride.
Yeah, Bruce does ever so well, doesn't he? Stands up, makes it difficult, but Gary Speed's unlucky. It just drops wide of him. But what do Liverpool do? They break away. Great ball in. And Dean Saunders chooses to hit it early and gets right underneath it.
Chapman. Good work by Burrows. He wants to get into the opposition's half. Hasn't had the opportunity to do that. The advantage played again as Stewart was fouled, and it's Burrows who shoots, and in a way, confuses Saunders, who confused him.
I think he was right to take it, I really do. Dean Saunders wanted it, but as you can see, he's coming to David Burrows' left foot. He's coming straight in and goal. And if Dean Saunders had only just checked his run and been more aware, then it wouldn't have upset David Burrows as much. But he looks happier up front, doesn't he, Dean Saunders? He's suddenly got an extra yard or two from somewhere.
But just when you're thinking that Leeds are lucky to be level, you have an incident like we had a moment or two ago when first Wallace and then Speed very nearly put them back in front. They are rightly regarded in the game, Leeds United, as a very fit club. And I think David Rocastle, and this is no criticism of Arsenal, but different methods, different managers, he's found it quite hard to do the work over the last few weeks. Here's Speed, who certainly isn't struggling for fitness. Dorigo, Batty, Liverpool stretched. Wallace, Speed, Chapman, Cantona, all missed it. Well, the footballing equivalent of the golfer's air shot from three players in the centre.
To be fair, I don't think it arrived at any of them just right either. If you watch it here, as it comes, Rod Wallace is the one who delivers it, and I think it's just ahead of Gary Speed. I don't think it's ever perfect for him. Just behind Lee Chapman and just ahead of Eric Cantona.
Well, Mike Marsh is going off, and Don Hutchison comes on. Hutchison from Hartlepool, who's been serving his time since his dream move to Anfield and has impressed Graham Souness in the pre-season games and was very close to being in the starting lineup here. But Mike Marsh, who had greater battle time last season, greater game time, really won the vote because of that. Hutchison at 6'2", actually played a few games in the lower divisions as a striker, but has been used by Liverpool in midfield. So here's the balance of power going to swing back the way of Leeds United. Very hard to tell, but they have the corner. Fairclough. Now Wallace. Dorigo's there if he wants him, which he does. Fairclough in again, well met by Wright for Liverpool. McAllister, expect a good ball here. And it's just hit too long. Certainly played into an area where Leeds were getting numbers. Newsom. Well, Chapman's made an inventive run. And Grobbelaar, oh, he's lost out. Now what can Chapman do? He's done all he can, which is get the ball across. And Whelan was on his toes, as all the Liverpool outfield players always are, of course, when Grobbelaar comes out that way. But he's survived. Can Leeds do against Walters? Well, now it becomes a question of what will happen at the free kick. A free kick that Newsom believes shouldn't have been given.
Well, he's got a right to look disappointed, John Newsom. Matt Walters just lost his balance. I don't think Matt dived or anything like that, but what he did, he just lost his footing. And it's difficult from the angle. I mean, the referee doesn't have this angle, but as you see it there, it's a little nudge, but Matt Walters just loses his footing.
Saunders drives it hard, but too high. Andy, there's a point I want to make about the Bruce Grobbelaar incident. Taking Bruce aside, is that goalkeepers will be sorted out as to whether they're right-footed or left-footed, because for a right-footed goalkeeper, this is a difficult situation. He's got to use his left foot, and Grobbelaar didn't really fancy that, and I think there'll be a number of goalkeepers who, rather than just waft with their weaker foot, well, they might make a mistake. It's an area to keep an eye on. Offside. We're into the last 15 minutes. It's been exceptional entertainment in the 1992 Charity Shield. And at 2-2, it's by no means over. Cantona. Oh, Grobbelaar, what's he done this time? He's hit it straight at Wallace. Well, even on his right foot, it wasn't the right answer. Foul on Batty by Stewart.
It wouldn't be a game if Bruce wasn't up to his tricks, would he, Martin? We know it's a Charity Shield, but that's taking it too far, I think, as far as Graham Souness would be concerned.
I think all of the viewers will have understood that sequence of pictures. No words from us required. Free kick to Leeds. Dorigo, one of their scorers, leaves it to McAllister. Cantona, good jump, excellent jump, good shot! What a shot! Grobbelaar couldn't have seen it.
Well, Brucey didn't see it, did he? And he's right, he was right at the whole heart of that move. Won the header and was bright enough to pick up the rebound. Watch this, quick ball in, into the area. Cantona's strong in the air, shows it there, but doesn't stand about, does it? Look at that. And that's a brilliant hit. That one didn't need deflecting.
Well, he had a miserable time here playing for France back in February, but it's fantastic for Eric Cantona. Now, can Leeds, having gone in front yet again, can they hold on? And Batty says it was outside.
Oh, that's a penalty. I'm sure it is.
First of all, the referee is going to take disciplinary action here and produce a card for Batty. It's a yellow one. Liverpool have got the ball and lined up on the edge of the area, so to their credit, Russia's having a look to examine the ground.
Looked a penalty to me, Martin, but oh.
Well, let's analyse the free kick for a free kick. It most certainly is. Liverpool behind yet again. Whelan, and the header was by Fairclough. Leeds are trying to make a substitution. And now they have the opportunity to do that. Steve Hodge is going to get just over 10 minutes. Well, Howard Wilkinson, I don't think, can make it quite clear as to who's coming off. Oh, he's indicating, first of all, to the linesman that it should have been an offside, but it's Chapman that's replaced. So Cantona and Wallace, one would assume, would play together up front, but at the moment Hodge has taken up a position there. Surely he'll find more familiar ground in midfield. But as I've been saying earlier, Steve Hodge has really been impressing the Leeds players with his work in the other pre-season games. They would pick him as their player of the pre-season. Howard Wilkinson didn't pick him to start today. Gordon Strachan, as a sentimental gesture, might be allowed to tread the Wembley turf. About 8 minutes to go for Liverpool to perhaps take it to a penalty shootout as it was back in '74. But Cantona is on a hat-trick. Is he going to get it? Burrows stopped him then. And Cantona looks for Wallace. McAllister trying to waltz through. Still Cantona is free to the left, and it's come to him, and... Well, maybe you have to have something of a Gallic feel to you to try and get a hat-trick that way.
Oh, he showed great skill, didn't he? Typical of Eric Cantona. Not content to just blast it looking for his hat-trick, was he? He tried the most delicate of chips.
This is Stewart. Is it going to drop for him? And very effective clearance by Fairclough. Facing his own goal. Right, in fact. Slap in the centre of the goal. Plenty to aim at, so to speak, or plenty to avoid.
Great run. Super forceful run, but it was Gary Speed again who's tracked him all the way back and made life difficult for Stewart.
Liverpool want Istvan Kozma to come on for Ronnie Rosenthal. Kozma, the Hungarian who played for Hungary here against England, getting on for 2 years ago. Stewart was free. McAllister's header only to right. This is Walters, who's been such an important figure on the match and at least had a sight of goal to try and be a real influence on the scoreline.
Yeah, you could see exactly what he was doing.
Gordon Strachan. Maybe her last chance at Wembley. Who knows, at 35, he's defied those who wrote him off when he left Manchester United. And what an achievement it's been for Leeds, with Strachan leading them on the field to get out of the second division and to win the championship, get into the European Cup.
Yeah, there must have been anxious times for him, the wee man, this summer, Martin, when he's had his operations and everything. It's great to see him back playing and knowing that he's going to be there again at the forefront as Leeds try and defend their league title.
So what's happened here? It does look as though Speed has gone to right back. Hutchison. Gary Speed is very left-footed, but he's played at right back before in the First Division last season. Andy Gray and I have the chance to, or the opportunity to give you a man of the match, and certainly I will lean on Andy's expertise in particular, while I concentrate on the speed of the game. Speed, I wonder if that's a clue.
I think it may be. But there's been some fine individual performances, to be fair.
And it's not over yet. Here's Kozma and Tony Dorigo, who was given the chance to play right back for England in the European Championships while we're on that subject of that position, and declined to come on as a substitute against France. And Eric Cantona, was it? Here's Wallace. McAllister bringing Strachan into it. Can Leeds make sure here with the two substitutes trying to combine? Oh, it stayed in play off the corner flag. Alert work from Wallace, and Cantona has a hat-trick. Robillard missed the cross. In many ways,
Bruce didn't enjoy the best of luck with the first 2 goals, did he, with deflections. But really, that one is down to his own doing. Basically, a bread and butter cross that come across from Rod Wallace. And he totally misjudges it. Ball doesn't go out, hits the corner flag, but they react quickly, don't they? Cantor pulls to the back stick. Bruce misses it. And that's it. And I was just about to say, I'd be judged the man of the match a little bit earlier, Martin. I would have thought Gary Speed. But when a man scores a hat-trick at Wembley, in my mind, there can only be one man of the match.
Yes, I would say game, set and man of the match. Eric Cantona. But Liverpool have played a full part in the proceedings here. Saunders. That's Stewart. The scoring may not be over. It's a corner.
It's a pity the game has to end, isn't it? But to be fair, if this is the type of attitude and style of play that these two teams are going to set in the Premier League, then I think we've all got a treat in store. Good, positive attacking football. It's been great to watch.
Lukic finding it hard to get through the pack. Strachan, and it's wriggled in. Mark right shot. And Gordon Strachan, guarding the post, could do nothing about it. He seemed to have taken the pace off it. And then it got stuck, first of all, under his feet, and then behind him.
Well, this is a weird set of circumstances, isn't it? You think Gordon does everything right. Good position, stops it, hits his other heel, and before he can do anything about it, it's in. Very unfortunate. But you try taking this off Mark Wright.
Well,
thinks he does everything right, and that's unlucky.
And Liverpool are still in it. At 4-3. Saunders. Speed's header. Here's Burrows. The Leeds fans are urging David Elleray to bring it to a close.
I hope he doesn't hear them.
Well, we know Liverpool are the past masters at pulling it out of the fire in the closing minutes, but this is ridiculous. They've got another corner. Well, he must have thought, as his header went in, that it wasn't a case of man of the match, but winning the match. But it's still not certain as we move into stoppage time. Strachan is still on the post. This time he hopes his feet firmly rooted to the ground.
And his legs firmly closed.
Well, that statistic suggests that Leeds have done a smash and grab here. It hasn't been quite as simple as that. They've certainly taken their chances. Well, David Elleray will have taken account in terms of adding the time on here. Can Liverpool provide yet another astonishing moment to a game that we'll never forget? It was right going in. In truth, Charity Shields have always been a pleasant way to get going for the players, for the commentators as well. Very few of them live in the memory. The one between Leeds and Liverpool 18 years ago in 1974 does, for perhaps the wrong reasons, when Kevin Keegan and Billy Bremner were sent off. There are very few goals usually. I think Liverpool 3, Arsenal 1 back in '79 when Graham Souness was a player. Gave the lie to that, but not many since then. But what a treat today for all concerned. And it is over. Officially, Leeds United, the league champions, have beaten Liverpool, the FA Cup holders, in the 1992 FA Charity Shield. But it's been much more than that. It's been a wonderful appetizer. And you don't see Liverpool smile too often when they lose, but Ronnie Moran showing the face of their contribution here. It's been spellbinding.
It's been super to watch. I think we've all enjoyed it, and we all can't wait for the season to begin properly.
Well, 3 months ago, Mark Wright went up to get the FA Cup, but he leads Liverpool here in the new way of things, really, in all the FA-controlled competitions. The losers go up first, and they go up to complete applause from foe as well as friend. There's the chairman, David Moores, shaking the hands of the Liverpool players. But Gary McAllister, who came out as captain, has very nicely indeed passed the honour to the club captain. He wants Gordon Strachan to go up to get the trophy. Strachan is hesitating, but not for long, I don't think. He's played a small part in this game, but this small man has played a huge part in the rebirth of Leeds United. On the field, they've got it right again. And along with that, off the field, remember, they were regarded as a problem club with a certain section of their supporters. But the image is so much brighter, and the trophies are shining brightly at Elland Road. Here's another one. So Bert Milichip waiting with the sponsors, guest of honour, Dr. Tony Portnow, to hand over the silverware to Leeds United.